So a lot of folks are going for interviews. Now is the time. I guess this is not the season for interviews but you know, the new year, new budgets, new year. It's about that time. So, people are trying to figure out, like, you know, like, do you have any questions for us? Which is the worst part of the interview. Like, oh, Lord, do you have any questions for us? And people are like, oh, like, I approve more questions. But here's a good question that you should ask. We think, right? Ask the company. Find out what your values are. Like, what are your values in the company, excuse me. And ask them if they align with your values. It could be autonomy, it could be personal development, it could be serving others, it could be any core value. Choose one or two that are non-negotiable for you. Then when the interviewer asks a question, if you have any questions, you say, well, I have two really big, values. I value X, and I value Y. How does your company view those values? And the reason why you want to ask that question, right, is one, I think it really, first of all, I think if I was the interviewer, it'd blow my mind. Because that would tell me that you want to stay around for a long time. I want to work for a company that aligns with my values. Because the company that aligns with my values, I'm more likely to work for them for longer periods of time. Right? And I'm more likely to invest more into the company. Right? And that's why that's a really good, like, it's just good, it's a good ideal. Right? And here's one example. Here's a case study from this whole boing boing. In an interview last week, this individual explained my value of efficiency. I told the interviewer that I've worked for companies that were very efficient, and I've also been in companies that were extremely inefficient, with lots of outdated rules and bureaucratic red tape. Companies that valued efficiency, in my experience, make more money, have more engaged and talented employees, promote innovation and creativity, and generally get a whole lot more done. Then I asked what their company valued around efficiency. A few days later, the interviewer called me and told me that that was the best question he'd ever heard after he offered me the job. Because nobody expects to hear that question. Because basically what you're doing is you're challenging the interviewer and you're challenging the company to rise to your level and your values. And a lot of times they're already there. But the fact that you're thinking about the company's values before you decide to take a job for somebody who's interviewing you is like, wow, that's impressive. Bravo. So try it on your next interview. Tell us what happens. We want to know here at the Fowler Show.